close.
What a great sequel, but sequels can be good, they can be bad. What was the appeal for you to do it?
I just wanted to, when the movie did so well, I was thinking, let's try and do a sequel, and Harold and Billy were less inclined to do it in the beginning, and then but we got writers and we got pitches from different writers and some funny stuff and blah blah blah, and then we just kept going, and then finally Harold said, let me take a shot at it, because I kept saying, let's just do it, and we were anxiety sort of ridden in the first one about whether it'll work or whether we maximized all the situations and really done as well as we could. And it took a while to get up to actually getting the movie even underway, shot. So a couple of years since the first time I heard about it. So I said, we'll only find ourselves in the same situation of worrying and working on it during and before, during the shooting and everything, and it's just part of the process, so we might as well commit to it, and we'll figure it out as we go. And I was very confident that would be okay.
Now tell me, the scenes with you and Billy, was there a lot of improv going on, or did you follow the script?
There were scenes where there was improv, on the beginning or the end or during, but not a lot. I mean, it wasn't like, but there were scenes that we did that. That's natural to this, especially this kind of material.
Yeah, you guys seem very comfortable working together in those types of scenes. Why do you think that's so?
Well, we have a good rhythm with each other, and we, that's important. We connect. We have a. We like to kid around. He's a comedian, but also a funny person, and so that's important as a foundation for doing this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. As far as scenes go, what was the most fun to work on?
Well, so I think I like the car salesman scene. I thought that was kind of funny because I had no idea. I thought that was maybe going to be too much or whatever. But I saw it after, and I thought it was funny. So.
Yeah.
And there's some others I can't think.
Tell me about the singing scenes that you did. They were great.
Well, those were ones that I was concerned about. When I read them on the page, I thought they were great. That whole idea, I thought it was very funny. And then there were times when it would be written again and changed, and so it was the way they were written the first time. The timing of it, and juxtaposed to whatever's being said by whatever my character, some other. So, but I said that if this could be made to work, it would be really great. And I was always hoping that if I'm lucky, we can get it to that point pretty much, or at least 80% of the way, so it can work, which is a great idea. So.
Yeah, great. Thank you. You got to stay behind, huh?
Huh?
You got to stay behind.
I was a dope who had to eat. They didn't say I'd be penalized for it.
That was the trick. So, great sequel.
Thank you.
Sometimes sequels can stink, right?
Yep, that's why we were hesitant about doing it, because you're worried about hurting such a good first movie and your reputation or whatever that means, and you don't want to appear to look like you're just cashing in and your audience doesn't mean anything to you. They'll come or they won't come, who cares? And that's the attitude of some of these movies, and this took a long time in theory to develop, and then when we had something really good, we said, let's do this, and I think it delivers,
Yeah. You guys have such a great chemistry on screen. Why do you think that's so?
You never know why. We just click. We just do it. If you had said to me 5 years ago, you and Bob De Niro are going to be this really great, funny comedy team, I was, what, him? But I always felt he was funny. I always felt, even in the darkest movies, that there was humor there. And that's when I really was part of pushing him into doing the first movie. And believe me, trust me, that kind of thing. And you'll be greatness. People want to see you do this kind of thing, And you got to wink at yourself a little bit. They'll go nuts when I was like a pit bull for like 2 years. And then, you know, I think that's part of it, is that our relationship is so honest and our rhythms are great, and we're an unlikely pair to some people, and yet it's refreshing. They like seeing that he hurts me and yells at me, and they like that I slap him back. So it's a funny relationship.
Yeah. And the script works well for you guys. It's very real. It's not a...
Yeah, the tone of it is really good, and we both have, even more so in this one, both have chances to spin off and do funny things. I know for me in this, I have more overtly funny scenes than I did in the first one. You know, I get a chance and it's odd because it comes out of a dark place, because I'm grieving in this movie for the loss of my father, and it makes me do things that make my behavior funny. I take pills, I drink, I weird combinations, I'm losing myself, and that made me crazier than he is, and I needed more therapy than he did. So we help each other, so that was cool.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene?
I like our first therapy scene together. I think that's really funny, and I love when he comes down at the morning house when his robe is open. I had come up with that idea, and I thought he should be totally naked. I thought that would have been even funnier amongst all the old relatives, to have this naked mafioso walking around and hide everything appropriately. And I like that, and and for myself, I like the the scene in the restaurant is just, it's fun to get crazy and loose and have the energy that of that kind of guy.
Yeah. It was great. Great. I love the outtakes.
Oh, good.
It was fantastic. You know, hit or miss. What was the appeal for you to do it?
Well, I knew it was the same everybody. And I knew, Harold Ramis and Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal probably wouldn't proceed until they had a script and story that they thought would be good enough. So I think they were right.
Now, what's the particular appeal for you for the role? What did you like about the role initially in the first movie?
About the role, well, more than the role, I just liked that, I get to work with and watch them, Billy Crystal and Robert De Niro, That's what was exciting.
Yeah, what's it like seeing them work together? Because they really do know how to play off each other.
What's it like working with them?
What's it like seeing them work?
Well, it's just fun. They try different things, and then it's a lot of back and forth and trying different things, and that's good to watch. That's good.
Did you have a favorite scene?
Well, when I watched it, I loved when Paul Vidi's at the car dealership trying to sell a car. I loved that. That was my favorite.
Now, when you see them doing a good comic piece, do you think, wow, do you see it right away?
Yeah, sure. You think? Well, I don't. I mean, I don't trust that that's how it's. I don't know how it's going to be put together, and you never know. But it looks pretty good. Yeah.
And what else is going on with you?
Well, I just finished an independent film called Wonderland, about the Wonderland murders, 1981, that John Holmes was involved in.
Cool.
And I played Sharon Holmes, his wife. So that was pretty fun. That was good.
And the series is going on well?
Yeah, the series is, it is what that is. It goes on, yeah.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that the inside word?
We're rolling. That is. It is. They're already gearing up.
Wow. Okay.
What a great script.
Thank you.
Sometimes sequels can stink, but this one was really good.
Good. Love to hear that.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the idea, the concept of this one.
Well, we just took the first movie for real, and I love the second Godfather film because it's an extension of the first one. They didn't just plop the characters down in some other place. Oh, what could happen next? Well, so the same thing. I wanted to just continue to tell the same story, and it kind of fits with therapy because in therapy you don't okay, now I've solved those problems with my parents. All right, I'm on to something new. No, you deal the rest of your life with the same issues in therapy. So it made sense to me that there was a lot more to develop about the underlying pathology in Bob's character, and Billy's story is evolving. He's lost his father, which was his reason for being who he was, and was something came out of my own therapy. And then this notion of identity crisis that I got I stole from an article in the New York Times about The Sopranos, which was asking the question of, if Dr. Melfi, she's not addressing his big problem, which is that he's a mobster, It's like, oh, yeah, it's like treating Hitler, and then ignoring the fact that he's Hitler, right? So the question in the article was, if he's not Tony Soprano, the mob boss, then who is he? And I thought, well, that is perfect for our film. What if how's he going to go straight now? He quit the mob at the end of the movie. What's he going to do?
Yeah. What is the chemistry between those two? They have a fantastic when they're on, doing scenes together. What is it about them, you think?
Well, they're both so smart, for one thing. They really get it, And Billy is probably the most generous stand-up comedian I've ever. Usually stand-ups they're stage hogs. They just want the spotlight. They're the worst people to improvise with usually because they're just trying to be funny. They're not really listening to anyone. Billy really listens, which is also the hallmark of a really good psychiatrist, is this very active listening that they do. And then he's got his own deep neurotic problems that surface in the film, and he's got some really hysterical moments. And Bob kind of respects that in Billy, and of course we live in awe of Robert De Niro's reputation. Not the man, because he's a guy. He's like my age. Happy to say he's a little older than me, but he's just a guy, who happens to be a tremendous actor. And that gift he has is a real special thing that we all kind of honor.
Yeah. Do you think there'll be another one after this?
He mentioned it.
And Bob did?
Yeah, and he's the one who kept the sequel idea alive in the first place. So.
I think it would be a good one if it's done right.
If we had the right story.
Yeah.
That's it. If we won't do it if it's not good.
Yeah. The outtakes were hilarious.
Pretty good,
does Bob know which outtakes you chose?
I don't think he saw them. You might be
Some
surprised.
of them were a bit over the top there.
Yeah, weren't they? I originally had, I can say masturbation in an AP, can I? There's a moment when he's kind of miming. And I originally had a really rough one in the film, and then I looked at it, oh man, that's going to shock the audience into silence, So we softened it up a bit.
Yeah, well, you kept everyone in their seats till the very end, I have to tell you.
That's great.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Very good.
Okay.